So this is we are in the first floor here in the factory. So it's the offices with the designers, engineers, because we are making all the engineering in-house. So this is the office where we have the showroom of the complete Brough Superior range, including a 1926 a real one. You know, it's a classic Brough.
Right.
That is typically the same as Lawrence of Arabia, the most famous one.
Yeah.
And this bike from 1926 is in perfect condition, matching number. It's a really rare thing that is a perfect evocation or inspiration for us, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's, if you see, for example, this is early stage SS100. And it's really similar in many ways. Above all, it's the iconic design from the tank, which is something that you could recognize at the first look, you know, as any Brough.
Sure.
So then we have the second model we have developed is the Pendine. So this is you know, with high-rooted exhaust and higher position with some kind of off-road aptitudes. This is a modern scrambler. That is the second model we have designed around the basis, which is our engine and our titanium frame. So all the classic range are made, all the models are made around the same basis. And everything has been developed here. I mean, design,
in-house,
CAD, industrialization, homologation, production, everything is made in-house. So I will show you. Then you have an important model who is the anniversary bike. So this model has been designed just right after we bought the brand IP. So it's for the centenary of the brand. So you could see here, it has been shown in 2019, 2019, and this bike has been made in 100 units, limited edition, and we have just a few available. It's just reserved to collectioner, you know, to really demanding people who want something rare. So now I could switch on the museum we have in the factory. That's something important because it's the origin of what we are doing today. You could see bike and prototypes designed from the early 80s, something really rare like the Lamborghini bike. Only 25 have been made. This is something really rare. It was the period of the full fairing. So you could see this typical design. This is the first turbo prototype we've made. Which was at the origin of the development of our V-twin engine that has his particular position to be able to have the turbo inside the V, as you could see here. And that project at the end is now on its wheels as the Brough Superior partnership with Aston Martin. So the AMB 001, the bike made with Aston Martin, is the, let's say, the end of this long-term project, which was to develop a brand new engine, a brand new V-twin, turbocharged. And some are important, like this bike, for example, with a really particular design, because this bike is using the front end that we are using on all our models. It's a kind of double triangle, double wishbone system, you know, of direction, of steering. And that's just to show that we did it. It's really similar to the dual lever from BMW, but we did it before. So we have, it's really a technology that we have in our hands.
I think all the bikes are very rare, so.
It's typical from a production because we have the same system implemented on the AMB. So the famous, this is the prototype you've seen for the Milano show. So that's an outstanding design. That's a rocket, you know, that's something really, really aerodynamic. It's really thin, really lightweight, really powerful. It's something else because the Aston Martin design is really impressive. It's biomorphic and aggressive. It's efficient. It's really, really nice with really specific features like the handlebars, that are designed like wings. Everything is aerodynamic and containing inside the fluid and the brake pumps. Everything is integrated. So as you could see, we are assembling a first batch now. So this is typically an assembly of the first 10 bikes that we are making at the moment.
Yeah.
So as I've said, everything is made in-house. As you could see, we have here at the first floor, we are making the Aston Martin bikes.
Yeah.
And the first step of any production here, which is the engine, because here it's the engine assembly area.
Yeah.
So we are making all our engine in-house. And we have 2 benches for engine assembly, where we are able to make 1 engine a day. So we have a capacity of nearly 500 engine a year, even if we are doing less than that today, because we are just focused on quality and development, making new models each year. So
right.
We are not pushing to make many units.
Right.
All our models are developed and sold as a limited edition. So we don't need to make to rise capacity. This year we will assemble 100 units, which is sufficient. Then we want to progress with something like 20% per year. So it just gives you a kind of roadmap on what we are doing. And so once we have assembled the engine is taking this lifter.
Yeah.
And is going downstairs where we have the regular assembly for the bikes, because we are making nearly everything in-house.
Yeah.
So I will show you from the beginning. We have here it's the entrance of the raw material. Here we have the bench test for the end of line bench test, where we are testing the bike, and then we are testing on road. But excepting that, it's the beginning of the process, meaning that all the raw material is coming inside from here. So you could see castings here. So it's a swing arm and front fork for SS100. Then we have raw metal works here with the titanium tubes, because we are using a lot of titanium to build chassis parts. We have a lot of hand-polished pieces that are made by polishers here. It's a really deep art job made by hand. So you have a lot of handcrafting in what we are doing.
Yeah.
As you could see here. So we have 3 welders that are making assemblies of, this is the intake manifolds of the AMB001, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We are making titanium chassis parts. We are making exhaust systems, so bending the tubes, welding the tubes, making many things in-house, as you could see. And we are making our titanium frame for sure, and titanium rear frame for the Lowrance, for example. You can't imagine how this part is lightweight and structural, because it's a grade 9 titanium, so it's typically an aeronautical process that we have implemented, because we are located in Toulouse, and the south of France area is specialized in aircraft industry. It's where we are producing the Airbus aircrafts. So this is the wheels with Michelin tires. We have several design of wheels that are fully machined from billet, and with various finishings. You could see the Brough superior hand graving as well. And so it's specific design from us, and all that wheels are coming from a Formula One supplier with machining forged blancs to have a perfect structural material and lightness. Right. And this Formula One supplier is in Italy for the wheels, but he is making our design. We have our own oil made with Elf Total. This is a partnership we have. Mm-hmm. And you could see here some stock. We are stocking parts, so machined parts. A lot of machined parts are sourced in the restricted area of, let's say, something like 30 kilometers around us. We are making even our bolts. Any of our bolts have a specific design with a specific shape, made from aeronautical stainless steel, and it's made for us. So it's only specific design. You know, we are talking about 1,300 references. That's about 2,200 parts to make a bike. So it's a huge work that we have achieved in nearly 3 years, being able from the blank page to the final approved bike and first delivery. It was a 3-year program, totally made in-house. So this is the assembly line. So as you could see at the moment, it's a lot of Lawrence bikes that are on process.
Yeah, the new
because
one.
It's the new ones that we have a lot of orders taken. We have already taken orders beforehand with our pool of customers and retailers.
Right.
So as you could see, there are many bikes, and then it goes to delivery. So we have 5 assembly benches like this.
Yeah.
And each operator is when he receives the engine from upstairs, is able to complete a bike in about 1 day.
That's brilliant.
But there are a lot of works that is made. Everything is made by hand. All these kind of finishings and textures, as you could see.
Yes.
So this is a one-off café racer made with a half fairing that have been entirely formed by hand from aluminum sheets.
That's one good workshop. Yeah.
Yeah. So here you could see it's where the customer is choosing his color, texture with the paint specialist. So everything is possible. We have oftenly people asking for a kind of color matching with their classic car. Right. This is the Saddlery. It's a huge level of finishing on the Aston Martin project because it's really, really high quality with really, highly skilled specialists with making cuts, and every seat is unique with specific requirements. They could ask for specific leather, specific colors and texture. So it's a huge job, but it makes each Brough Superior unique.
Exactly.
As you could see, we have nearly all the tanks are different with different paintings and motifs. We have really specific things coming from the customers.
Right.
Even the gold leaf work under the lacquer. You could see the gold texture. That it's very, very nice with the sun reflection. And this is a batch of fairings that are in process. And just to finish the tour, I could show you just an extra vision from outside to make you understand. It's not a big factory because we are talking about 2,000 square meters.
Agree.
We are 25 people.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we need to be able to make 100 bikes a year, including all the internal development of our new models, because we are launching a new model each year.
Right.
As it's limited edition, from 100 to 100 units on any models. We don't need a mass production equipment, automatization, and so on. So it's uncrafting high quality bikes and creating a new bike nearly each year. Yeah. So that's the business we have settled, because the main thing that is turning us on is creating new models.
Exactly. Yeah. I think Brough falls under luxurious motorcycle, so everything is high class, unlimited.
Yeah, so it's we have this is the entrance, and we are receiving a lot of customers because many customers are buying in direct.
Yeah,
not most, but let's say more than a third of our customers are buying in direct. And so they are keen on coming before ordering. and then during the assembly process to choose the options, finishings, and fittings.
Right. I think that was a wonderful tour, Albert.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think we would like to thank you because we wanted to have Brough since last many years. We wanted to talk to you, but then that
Okay, no, but
yeah, then but then this is the opportunity that has arrived now. So
yeah, you're welcome to do so because you know, we have had a lot of press coverage.
Yeah.
Because the situation have changed in some ways in this year, because even with the COVID situation,
yeah,
we are continuing to take orders.
orders, yes,
We are still selling worldwide and opening new markets.
Yeah.
We are launching new models, and for example, at the end, the Lawrence is really game changing for us.
yeah,
Because even if we do like the classic range, and as a classic, it's timeless
yeah,
by definition. So we have no reason to change anything, and this model could last in time. You know, as many manufacturers have their icons that could last decades. So that's exactly the case. The SS100 will remain the SS100 for years, and that's good. But making the Lawrence make a wider target for us at the end, because it's attracting different people.
Yeah.
It's more not mass market, but it's wider. Okay, and because it's two-seater, it's a modern design. It's a more modern use as well as a position and the way the steering angle and many things. It's a playful bike, really adapted for city center and so on. So we really do felt the effect of the Lawrence, and having this range, which is no coherent, if you know what I mean, because we were really classical with the SS100.
Yeah.
Then we have the really high-tech Brough Superior by Aston Martin bike, and sorry, the opposite, Aston Martin by Brough Superior AMB 001, and at the middle, right at the middle, we have the Brough Superior of the 21st century, which is the Lawrence, because the Lawrence is a modern bike with carbon fiber, structural carbon fiber body. And it's really nice. So we are pleased to say that we have not been affected by COVID, and I think it's a good signal for people, because it says that things could continue. Demand is there. Supply chain have not been cut by any troubles, because even if we have had some suppliers that have momentary stops, we don't have suffer any close down.
Right.
So we are really flexible, because we are sourcing most of the parts around us, then in Europe. So you know, I think it's a good positioning.
Yeah.
And as we are really clear about making only high range, top notch, high-tech bikes, it's clear for the customer as well. So we are pleased.
Right. So Albert, anything apart from MB, MB001, do we see more from this collaboration between you and between Aston?
Oh, the good. So from the beginning, it have been said that it's the first bike of the partnership.
Right.
So we are really focused on that model, because as you've seen, at present we are producing the first batch. We have had delay in the development phase due to COVID situation.
Right.
Because, for example, in the last 6 months, it was impossible to organize track tests and things like that. So it was really hard to progress. But now we see the end. And in terms of bill of material, invalidation, in terms of component, everything is cleared. So it's just producing now, because we have the orders. The orders are there. You know, it's not a question of selling the bike. It's just a question of producing and delivery. So that's comfortable in some ways. And for sure, we are thinking to the future as well, because the partnership goes well. And but it will be in any case, it will be an official announcement joint with Aston Martin if one day we are making a new bike.
Right. And who's designed MB1? Like who's the designer of MB1 bike?
So it's a collaboration,
Right,
but the design, properly said, have been designed by Aston Martin. It's a project managed by the Aston Martin design team.
Yeah.
Mainly people involved in supercar design.
Right.
At the factory.
Yeah.
So it was headed by Marek Reichman, the head designers, and his team. And we are pleased with that because they have invented something really new. It's a car designer approach.
Yeah.
And so you have really a big input in the way to manage complex shapes.
Yes.
Sometimes in 3 different plans.
Right.
To get a straight line, you know, and is typically a car builder job, you know. Right. So we learned a lot.
Yeah.
And we have been pleased by the job they have done because the bike is really, really breathtaking. And Frank, I don't know if you've seen it in the flesh.
No, I haven't seen it. Yeah, we haven't seen it yet.
But I hope one day, because it's incredible. You know, here you could see that the lens of the mobile phone is in some ways deforming. So you don't have the real view that you could have with your eyes.
Yeah.
But even there, it's something really nice and really new.
Yes.
And so many details are managed, you know, with a lot of aerodynamic input. They have had a cross discussion with the Formula One engineers. Right. You have everything is particularly shaped, and everything is really thin and compact. You can't imagine all the stuff you have underneath the tank, which is it's a fake tank, obviously, because the gas tank is here.
Yeah,
is under the pilot on the rear hand, and it's structural carbon. So we learned a lot in the way to develop carbon part as well.
Yeah,
and all the rest is fully machined. So as for our production, it's only the best quality component and processes.
Right. Just for our excitement now, many motorcycle manufacturers are moving towards electric bike. I'm just getting to open you up. So do you also have any plans that Brough will bring any electric motorcycle in future? Do you plan in that?
For sure, we have that in mind, because just as a short story, when I show you the Museum of Boxer Design,
right.
You know, we spent 15 years by making prototypes for all the main manufacturers. So we've worked with the big 4 Japanese, we worked with the European manufacturer, like BMW, for example. Right. And so we've worked a lot on electric bikes project. So we have a know-how. It's not the question today, because as we could still sell thermic bikes, and we do love that.
Yeah.
It's not you know, a strategic issue today.
Yeah.
But without doubt, one day we will have to make, because there will be regulations and
yes.
and some good reasons to do so. So
yeah. I agree. And I mean, what is your expansion strategy, Albert? Do you feel you would be coming to India or Asian countries?
Oh yeah. So you know, due to the extra visibility we've get with Aston Martin, because we are a small company.
Yeah.
The brand is known by specialists, but not by the main public. You know, it's normal, because it's a pre-war brand.
Yes.
So I can say we have suffered from this, because we don't have had in mind to develop it quickly. You know, so it was perfect to keep the hand on the development of the company. but frankly speaking, since the AMB 001 project, we have now a wider audience.
Yes.
We are making more press relation works and more marketing things.
Yeah.
Because all the events are cancelled as well, so we have to be more visible on the web, for example, and so on.
Right.
And so we have demand. We have a worldwide demand, and this have really expanded in Asia, for example.
Yeah.
We have no interest in China, in Indonesia, in many places like that, and so India. We have had some leads from India as well for the Aston Martin bike, even for the Brough. Because as it's a British bike at the origin, the brand was known in India. I have in mind a picture of a Maharaja riding a Brough, probably in the 40s, and so yes, there is a potential. So anyway, we are pleased to address any place in the world that is first in terms of direct sales. We have no retailers there. We have sold a bike worldwide to people who want absolutely a bike and a collection, and don't pay a lot of attention of having a kind of local service facility and so on.
Right.
And then afterwards, when the demand is great, and for example, Australia is the case, we have an official distributor for the whole area that is developing the brand there for us, because there is a big demand in Australia, for example. So that's typically the normal evolution. First, some direct sales, and then a dealer network.
Right. And do you see Brough going into the racing as well in near future, or do you plan to stick what you've been doing since decade?
So we have some ideas. We have some technical tips that could be one day something, but it's not for short term. But one day there will be probably announcement of some ideas that we want to develop in more sporty levels.
Right. And what is the most challenging project, I mean, that you might have ever come, like maybe in terms of building any bike like AMB 001 or any other bike, or Pendine or S100 or Anniversary? What do you feel was the most challenging?
Well, the most challenging is standards regulation. Because we have the same requirements. We are dealing with the same exigences and requirements than a major manufacturer.
Right.
And it's a long process, big investment. And for example, today in Europe, the challenge is Euro 5. We are working on. Technically, let's say that it's not a big issue, but it's time and money consuming.
Exactly.
So it's a huge effort for company as us. But we start with Euro 3. We achieved Euro 4 without troubles, and now we are progressing on Euro 5.
Right.
And so it's a no-brainer. We have to do it. So
exactly. And lately, what changes do you observe in the motorcycle world, Albert? Like after the COVID, what do you feel? I mean, just wanted to take your perspective of the motorcycle world.
Oh, so in general, in terms of general trends.
Yeah.
So I could say that first, surely I know more European market above all, because we are in Europe and we are dealing with Europe since decades. So we know really well the European market, which is in some ways similar to the US market.
Right.
And here there is a big trend that is the motorcycle since 10 years became cool,
Yeah.
Beforehand, it was a biker thing, and I have nothing against the bikers, Harley Davidson bikers and so on. But just to say that it was something really particular beforehand, and now it has been used in communication, it has been used in the fashion, it has been used in many ways, and now having a motorcycle is cool. So it's a wider public, and I really do appreciate that. It's great, you know.
Yeah.
And so and neo retro trend is really strong. You could see all the manufacturer have their own classic range with a really classic design code and so on, and it's and that's good, because at the end it helps us to explain our product as well, because we are not alone to make a kind of classic, even if we are top range, you know. It's so that's the first trend. Then what I see in terms of general market and mass market is the rise of the Asiatic offer, Chinese and Indian manufacturers that are really progressing in terms of quality, investment, performance, and so on.
Right.
So that's really challenging for example, Japanese manufacturer, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't speak for them, but just saying that the mass market will be really tough in terms of competition.
Right.
So we are prevented from that because we are on a niche market.
Yeah.
And so in some ways we can't suffer from that.
Yeah.
But it will be really tough for, you know, the mid displacement and the mid-range bike. It will be really hard, I guess, in the coming decade. Yeah.
Agree. To extension to what you said, I mean, the Brough is very niche brand. Do you feel in the future you may have a plan to build a commercial model, because all the ones that you have is a limited edition? So
yeah.
Oh,
that's a good question. You know, I mean, we relaunched the brand that have been not unused, let's say, during nearly 80 years.
Yeah.
So and it was already a niche brand in the past.
Yes.
With bikes said to cost the price of a house.
Right.
So it was a higher level pre-war than us, you know. But in terms of organization and in terms of what we want to do, at the moment we have no intention to expand and to have a wider offer with a lower budget bike, which could make sense. But you know, we do like this niche positioning, because we are really free to do what we want in terms of making the best bike using the best material. We have no marketing constraints. We have no cost constraints. And so it's really pleasant. And as I've said previously, you know, the main things that we like is designing, developing, and creating bikes. So doing it at such level, it's good, because you know you have not a big effort to make the system work with all the commercial, marketing, cost requirement, and so on. So that's pleasant.
Right. And Lawrence is pretty new. We understand it's just now entered the market. So is there any other plan for from your side for the current projects that you have in your mind, apart from the Lawrence, I mean?
Well, we've just launched the Lawrence. So this is our hot thing today.
Yes.
Obviously, you could imagine that we have already project in mind for the coming years.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes something like 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 years from the first ID to the last model. But we have already many ideas in stock, if you know what I mean. So and we are currently working on new projects.
Right.
As usual. Yeah.
Right. And how do we see Brough superior in coming years? I mean, in next 5 years. Sorry.
So what we see is doing the same business in the same way with more volumes. Not in the, so it's a big difference, because you know, when you are doubling, meaning switching from 100 to 200 bike a year,
Right.
you are doubling the production capacity, but
Exactly.
it remain small volumes.
Right.
So yes, for the coming let's say 5 years, we have a plan to rise progressively the volumes, because we need to address many places in the world,
Right.
even if it's niche market, making 200, 300 bike a year. If you spread it on the whole world, it's not big. And for example, we have a big block, which is the US market, where we have a big demand. I'm sure that we could easily sell yearly the entire production of this year. You know, it's making 100 bike a year in US, well organized, won't be a problem.
Yeah.
But if you figure it, it's our today annual production capacity. So we have to expand. But the expansion is coming from new market openings and new models oftenly. But we want to remain in this same business model.
And last question, Albert, what do you do in your leisure time? What do you enjoy?
I'm building bikes.
And what's your
So,
favorite one? Like, if I want to ask, which
no, so obviously I own a Brough Superior, but
yeah.
and I'm fond of classic bikes.
Right.
I love riding in vacation or during the weekends.
Right.
And just my last project is a Moto Guzzi from '72. I made a kind of baguette, a custom bike for the road. You know, something really retro looking,
Right.
but fully serviced. A total restoration, and so I'm pleased with this bike because it's riding really well and it's really reliable.
Right. And what are your favorite roads in Europe if you go out riding?
I love as modern bike, for example, I love to ride the last BMW GS, for example.
Right.
I love Italian bikes as well. I love the Ducatis, but my main thing is classic bikes. And
right.
I love classic bikes from the 50s and the 60s.
Right. So we are at the end, and to everyone who is watching, we had been given a nice tour by Albert Castaigne. Is an executive director who works with Brough. I think the introduction should be first, then the last. But he started with a good he started with a good tour of his workshop.
Okay, well, so you're welcome. Thank you.